Alrighty, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. So we've got actually some pretty good movements here in the euro. I'll come back to that dollar Mexican peso here in a second. But look at the euro just extending gains. Now, the euro is obviously in breakout territory now. So depending on what the end of month brings us. Now, end of month estimates that we're seeing is, let me see if I'll pull up something really quick on my end. And I'll read month-end rebalancing. Looks like it's supposed to be really strong euro dollar buying, really strong cable buying, really strong Aussie buying. Okay, supposedly. All right, and strong U.S. dollar Canadian selling, and also U.S. dollar Norwegian krona selling, moderate US dollar Japanese yen selling. So basically across the board, we're looking at dollar weakness, which, you know, you could argue that a lot of those flows are going through right now. Now, what I talked about earlier today, and I'm going to come back to the euro, earlier today that we had some preliminary reports that we're going to see some equity market selling. So if we see equity market selling come in, and this is an hourly, so let's just go up to a 4-hour, and let's just say, I mean, for argument's sake, just bear with me. Let's say the S&P just drops back down to, you know, well, we're at 3050 to 2970. So that's a pretty big drop in all actuality. But let's say we do start to see some selling back to the breakout point, this breakout point right here, right? Oops, not that one, the pink line, which is right there. What we'll probably do is we'll probably see some dollar buying, but not against all currencies. You'll probably continue to see dollar selling against the euro, but maybe see some dollar selling against the Aussie. Now, that brings up, you know, some of these commodity currencies. So I was talking about the Aussie dollar to the guys and gals in the chat room, if you were there, that we might be seeing some sort of Gartley pattern that looks like this at the 88% retracement. And I said just a little while ago, let me see if I can pull up here's the chat. And I said that euro dollar said, you know, we're likely to turn here, and if we don't, we'll extend the gains in the Aussie dollar up towards, you know, 67 cents, somewhere in that neighborhood. And that's what I was thinking with the Aussie. So in other words, if we don't stop here, we're going to extend that into a butterfly, which will be a breakout, which, you know, wouldn't surprise me with all the dollar weakness that we're seeing. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the Aussie extended itself like that. However, you know, if stocks start selling off a little bit, we're seeing the euro dollar perk up against other currencies. And this is where, you know, I picked up and added a little bit of euro Aussie below the 66 cent level, 166 level. We have like this bull flag developing. But if you look at the euro crosses, here's the euro sterling, which, by the way, the euro sterling or the euro pound, it should still extend a 90, 90, 40, 90, 30. Okay. Euro Aussie, false breakdown. This is one that I think everybody should keep their eye on, right? And especially by the end of the week, because you got a false breakdown. If the euro Aussie breaks above, and I should actually move that down to 67.40, which is 140 pips away from where we're currently at. But if we break above 67.40, that's a false breakdown on the week below a wedge. That's bullish. So it would be a very bullish development for the euro Aussie. Euro New Zealand holding support. And by the way, you know, euro Kiwi, let's extend this out quite a bit. So this is a big, I've had, for those of you that have been watching me for a long time, you would have known I was following this euro New Zealand last year into this big triangle pattern, right? It was huge. We were, you know, monitoring this like a hawk. Obviously, with the pandemic, we broke out. But, you know, I've been looking for a breakout for a long time. Anyway, we finally broke out, obviously, because of the pandemic. Now, we've come back and look where we're testing. We're testing the breakout point. So that's, you know, zooming in a little bit, but zooming in a lot more on the 4-hour. you can see the Euro New Zealand's holding up pretty well. So in other words, if the Euro is going to break out higher against currencies, they could very well do it in the crosses, and stocks could be strong, right? I mean, let me reverse that. Stocks could be weak, but we could see the Euro really outpace other currencies as the Euro is breaking out and catching and playing a little catch up with some of these other currencies. Because like I said, you know, the Aussie earlier, I was just going to say Aussie's up against really key resistance here longer term. Let me remove that Gartley pattern that I had drawn. Delete that. So the Aussie's up against really key resistance. You got the Kiwi also up against, you know, the 62-cent level, which is pretty big resistance. We're you know, toying with it. US dollar, Mexican peso, as you guys know, I'm long, and we're near support, and we're actually pretty close to my break-even point. But you know, with stocks up, you know, I'm a little concerned that we're down where it's at. But the fact of the matter is, stocks continue to grind higher, and this thing's not going lower. So that's good news, I guess, if I can call it that. But you could see a lot of these commodity currencies, dollar Canadian, near support here, confluence, we've been talking about it. So with all of this support resistance in these commodity currencies, yet the Euro is breaking out, you've got a recipe for a Euro continued breakout against some other currencies: Euro Pound, Euro Aussie, Euro Kiwi. I know Dominic in the chat room is playing the Euro Canadian, which, look, we're testing the 200-day right now, but in all actuality, and I'm not long this, which I wish I was. I wish I would have gotten long earlier by when he was talking about it. But anyway, but you can see this. This pairs right up against resistance. I mean, think about this. Like, let's just think about Euro Canadian, Euro New Zealand holding support. And by the way, that looks like it's also flagging, not flogging, but flagging. I'm about ready to get flogged with this peso. So Euro New Zealand, Euro Aussie, flagging, Euro New Zealand, flagging, Euro Canadian, testing resistance, and the 200-day moving average, by the way. Oh, no, it's not 200-day moving average. My bad. But resistance, right? Here's another one. Let's take a look at this. I haven't looked at this in a while. Euro peso. Let's delete all this. Euro Mexican peso. Below support, but really, you could argue holding, right? I don't know about you guys, man, but if stocks turn lower, I'm gonna be all over these Euro crosses. You know, Euro Aussie, Euro New Zealand, Euro Canadian, Euro peso, if you want to go that way. Euro sterling, maybe, although I think the cable is going to play more with the euro than, you know, the commodity currencies. But you guys get my drift. I'm looking at these Euro crosses, and let's not ignore the fact that the euro, I mean, this is in breakout territory. Now, have we been above the 200-day moving average before and failed? Yes. I remember multiple times where the whole world gets long euros and then all of a sudden it fails. That is not uncommon for the euro dollar. Is this the big kahuna? Is this the move? Do you okay, just I'm gonna ask you guys this question while you're looking at the charts. Okay. Looking at this chart, why do you think that this could actually be the big kahuna breakout to the upside? Why could I argue, or how could we argue that technically? What do you guys think? And I'll just look for a quick answer. I know this is a daily roundup. I don't want to keep it forever. I just, you know, this is the last question I'm going to ask you. What do you think? Yeah, I know Gavin says shorts forced to cover. Rush says stocks. Not necessarily the stock. No, I'm looking at this chart, just this chart alone. What is this chart telling you that could really say that we may be due for a squeeze? This could be it versus the other times. In my opinion, it's because of this post-apocalyptic, I say apocalyptic, but pandemic, post-pandemic false breakdown, right, of the euro. I think the risk is tilted that we do break out. Now, I'm not long. I'm long euro on the crosses. I'm not long the euro dollar. So let's just, I want to make sure that you're clear on that. I am buying it on dips, and personally, as long as we stay above, see this blue line right here, and it's creeping up every day. So let's just put it like right there. So right now it's a 4-hour chart. So right now, while we're above 109.50, I'd be bullish, and I'm very bullish while we're above 110. So I'd be buying dips down to 110, 110, or 110, 109.80 if I can get it. Okay, that's a big question mark, because if this is a big breakout, then I might not get that chance. We might not get that chance to buy it. But this is a bullish breakout as of right now, and we can't write it off at this moment. We have to assume this breakout's for real. Okay, and with that big false breakdown over there, I think the risk is tilted to the upside. Again, I'm not willing to buy it at this moment. I'm just watching it and hoping some of the euro crosses start to participate. But what I'm going to look for the next, especially, the next couple of days, will be something like that. Okay, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for this somewhere down here. That's what I'm waiting for. Actually, let me draw that again. Somewhere down here, something like that. Okay, and I'm going to hope and pray that I get it. And if not, then I'm just better hope and pray that, the stock market turns lower and it just takes up the euro crosses instead. So anyway, that's what I'm looking at right now, and I hope that helps, and I hope you guys are doing great. And I also want to mention that if you're watching this later, not live at 12:30 p.m. on Thursday, live, then that means you're not a ForexAnalytix subscriber. So make sure that you join in and become a subscriber so you can watch this live instead of after the fact. It's only $1 for 10 days. So thanks everybody for joining. And by the way, Kevin said, yeah, the dollar Swiss is trying to break down. It is the dollar Swiss. Where are we? We have that triangle. It is trying to break down, and we'll see if it does. It sure is trying to do it. Anyway, thanks guys for being here. I'll see you in the chat rooms. If not, I'll see you tomorrow morning on the Face webinar. Remember, this is the last daily roundup of the week. Talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.